on your ass about it.
Mm-hmm. My mouth is right here.
What are chillins?
Mickey at home undoing her hair so she can get it rebraided tomorrow. BJ's at home and Mickey Millie's at Praise Dance first.
Okay. I think we live.
How long have we been live?
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
So we are live for show 129. Guess you all heard me asking Adrian where the chillin'. So, but anyway, so y'all know what it is. So let's go ahead and let AP get into telling us what we are here for.
All right, guys. Welcome. Thursday, February the 6th. If you have not noticed, this year is flying by. Like January lasted a week and a half. It's February. So with that being said, it's time to get on your hustle. If you're here to ask questions in regards to wholesaling real estate with the Flip Man, using little to no cash or credit, little to no. And so welcome. Let's see here. We have Daryl, Lolo, Randy, Kenneth, Eric, L. Hodge, what's up, from Orlando, Ross Hustle, Jason, Trizzy, Brian, Craig, and a lot of others. Hi and welcome. So this is the way it works. You post your questions, I read your questions, and Ty will answer your questions. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and a couple of other platforms. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get this thing started. You ready?
Boom, let's get it.
Okay, so Everyday Hustle wants to know, can you wholesale and owner finance deal like a regular deal?
Oh yeah, I've done it over the years, but I can kick myself because I haven't done a lot more of it. Because in reality, most of the people that call you, they won't be traditional wholesale deals where they just give you a cheap enough price, put it on the contract, and wholesale it to a seller. You're going to start to see me focus and put out content a lot more of that. And on yesterday, I had my guys out of Arizona, Pace and Jamila. If you want to check out that video, just do a search for 1,100 deals combined in 1 year in Flip Man. And I'll put a link in the comments of this, the chat of this video. But to answer your question, yeah, you can wholesale an owner finance deal. Basically, what you would do is set up the terms on it. And if you do a good job of setting up terms, you can wholesale to a family that wants to live in it, or you can wholesale those terms to an investor, for a higher down payment than what you may have agreed upon with the seller, if there was a down payment even included in those terms. So to answer the question, yes, you can wholesale deals with owner financing.
All right, there you have it. Trizzy Smeeze says good evening and wants to know, what is a blanket proof of funds?
A blanket proof of funds. I'm not sure what the blanket part of it means, but I don't know. That would be a Google search away. So let me look it up really quick. Go ahead to the next question. I'll tell you what it means.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to beat you to it. I don't know what the blanket part means.
I don't know what that means either.
Okay, so Meyer853 wants to know, what is the smallest amount you can use doing the process? So I'm assuming the process is wholesaling. What's the smallest amount? When we say zero to little to no funds needed, is that what we mean?
What is the smallest amount you can use during the process? Yeah, the smallest amount is zero.
Smallest amount is zero.
You actually want to provide some form of consideration. In reality, it could be a penny. So I guess that's the smallest denomination, is a penny or something of value that the seller will accept. So.
Hi, Sean Jackson, and welcome. I love you too. Don't know who you is, but I love the love. All right. Dario has joined us. Rico, Chris King, Peaches. And we have several on Instagram. Valentina, Brayon, KS, Jack and Nozim. I see you all. Make sure you're posting your questions there as well so I can read those. But Peaches McCoy says, good evening, everyone. If the seller wants more than the $10 earnest money, is that then provided by the buyer?
Well, you're going to want your buyer to put up more earnest money than that. You know, a minimum of 500. I would recommend at least 1,000 to answer the question.
Okay. Let's see here. So Nehuff says, how do you do stacking and targeting sellers? Not understanding the process. So I'm not familiar with that. What is stacking?
It's something. It's a phrase used to describe list builders, such as Dealer, aka PropStream, or List Source, or any of those services. I'm not sure what it means. I've heard it before, but I'm not sure actually what it means. You know, you just buy a particular list. It obviously some lists will cross over to each other depending on what criteria you input and who are you targeting or whatever. But don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it.
Okay. So let's see here. Adam, and I think you have a banner for this, wants to know, what was the company that sends the seller's postcards with the picture of the property I want to put under contract? And what he's talking about is mailtoflip.com. I would suggest each and every one of you visiting that site. Again, it's mailtoflip.com. It's on your screen right there. And what they do is they provide a service of sending postcards to potential sellers, but the postcards has a picture of the home on it. And so what it does, it just gives your mail the opportunity to reach them more so than the other junk mail that comes. And the majority of junk mail is sorted over the trash. So you're just hoping that once that seller sees a picture of their house, they're like, oh no, what? And so it catches their attention. But again, that's mailtoflip.com for any information on that service. Let's see here. Dominique Young, this is a question from Facebook, says, what's up? Finished the apartment training last night. I was wondering, how do I make a letter of intent and what needs to be said in it? And what are the proof of funds details? So we just had a question earlier about proof of funds. I don't really think the blanket part meant, maybe it was a typo and just blank proof of funds. So let's talk about what proof of funds are, where you can get those, and a letter of intent. What does that say?
Well, the letter of intent is basically your offer before you go to a hard agreement. You know, which I've sent plenty of them. More, especially on apartments. I normally, even though it's in the training, you know, I evolve, and the training evolved through the information that I put out for free or whatever. But you can really bypass that and just go straight to an actual purchase and sales agreement with your actual offer. That's what I would recommend you do, just bypassing that step. But if you do want to do an actual letter of intent, it's really just a Google search away, man. It's just so many. And what you want to do is just get something as simple as possible. But what's in it, you'll have obviously the property information, who the owner is or owner of record, your name or whatever entity is buying the property. If there's a broker involved, you may want to include something specifying what the broker will be paid. Then you'll get into the earnest money and the due diligence period, along with the price that you're offering and just the timeline. But again, there's going to be so many templates out there as far as letters of intents that you can use, but I would just go straight to a contract.
All right. And as you see on your screen, guys, I'm going to ask that you follow Ty the Flipman at Ask Flipman on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Again, that's Ask Flipman. And if you could take just a quick moment and hit that like button. We have 155 of you on YouTube and Facebook combined, and that's also Periscope. And then Instagram, I see my people there. You're not really posting a question. Actually, Young King, CEO, does have a question from Instagram. It is, do you have any tips on virtual wholesaling? So I think you've been asked this question every week so far this year. Virtual wholesaling, what is it and how do you make it work?
Wow, man, that's going to be just like right down the alley of where I'm going to spend a lot of my focus that a lot of you all are going to benefit from just sending me deals. But assuming, I know you don't have the following that I have, but at the end of the day, with virtual wholesaling, you got to have someone on the ground representing you when it comes to virtual wholesaling. So that's the first part of it, whether it's another wholesaler, someone friend or family, a realtor, but you got to have someone representing you for the main reason, because sometimes the seller is not going to give you access to the property a lot of times. But the seller is going to be there each time a buyer takes a look at the property. And so you need someone there to make sure that this buyer knows who's who, and, your interest is being represented. So now it just boils down to generating leads, whether it's through other wholesalers, through your own marketing efforts, or whatever. It's just like you would normally wholesale if you were in your own market.
Okay. Let's see here. Now on that screen, you have a free copy of the one-page contract. I would suggest each one of you texting the word contract to 313131 or visiting dealulator.com. If you go to dealulator.com, that one-page contract is there for you to plug and chug. And I mentioned that because we have a question here from Maurice in regards to virtually signing an agreement. It states, "Hey, sir, Flip a Lot. How can I get a seller to sign the purchase agreement virtually if they do not know how to use DocuSign?" So I know we talk about never actually.
Well, now, when you say they don't know how to use DocuSign, you're basically saying they don't know they don't have an email address, or they just they don't get online. That's because DocuSign is just click, click, click. There's nothing to do or whatever.
Yeah.
So assuming that they don't, then that's when you're either going to put it in their hand, fax it to them to some location or whatever, maybe the library or UPS store, FedEx office, somewhere like that, or you just mail it to them, overnight it to them.
Okay. Now, I just mentioned dealulator.com. Go ahead and pull that up, please.
Okay.
Because we do have an "Is it a deal?" question from Young Shot.
Dealulator, okay. Okay.
So it is in regards to a property that he just made an offer on. He just wants to make sure that it's a good offer. They currently owe $180,000. He offered them $240,000, and the comps are anywhere between $450 and $480. So going in between there on the downside, we're going to say $465.
So what's the ARV?
The ARV is $465.
I need to remove the thing. ARV is $465.
Yes, he said between $450 and $480. So we're going to go in the middle.
Okay, all right. And then what are the repairs?
$40. They owe $180, but he offered them $240.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
That would work. You
Yeah,
have yourself a deal.
That would be all day.
So hopefully, Shaib, you can get that under contract and go for it. Numbers look good. And what we did.
Yeah. And if they don't accept your offer, see if you can offer some owner financing terms, at which it would have to be a subject to or whatever, or some form of a lease option or something, because it has existing financing in place that, has to be taken in consideration.
All right, there you have it. So a question on Instagram from Paco: should you buy a website with your first check? So you've done a deal, you got your first check. What are you doing with those funds? Is it going ahead and purchasing the LLC? Is it buying more marketing material? Is it the website? What are we doing with that first check?
Oh yeah, you're going to put it back into your business. I don't know how much the first check is, but yeah, you want to go ahead and get a website in motion. You definitely want to increase or double up on your marketing efforts, whether it's banner signs, or if you're going to do direct mail, whatever it is, you want to put a good portion of that back into your business to continue to generate leads and to continue to collect checks.
All right. Official coming from Instagram wants to know, how do you find comps for land? How does that work? Is it the same process?
Well, ideally, yes, but the problem a lot of times there's not a lot of activity with land in a lot of situations. So now you're going to probably be reduced to what the assessed value is from the county. And you just do your numbers from there. You try to get it as cheap as possible. Even with land, you're going to hear me say this a lot. Y'all going to get tired of it. But you can set up owner financing terms on land or whatever. And my eyes have just been open, guys. So stuff I already knew is sad when they already know it and you just ignored it. But ideally you want to try to get that 20 to 30 cents on the dollar based on the value of the assessed value of the property from the county. For example, if the land was valued at, we'll just say 10,000, just an easy number. So you try to get it for 3,000 or 2,000. But if they didn't, maybe they say, hey, I'll sell it to you for 7,000. Now that's more than probably what you can wholesale it for. So now you see if they'll set up terms on it, and then you can either keep the property yourself and make payments or wholesale those terms out for a fee.
Okay. So let's start square one. Selah here, and I think you kind of just explained it a little bit right there, what you did, but wants to know what exactly is subject to owner financing, because you've said it multiple times, like not really understanding what you mean by
Well,
that.
now subject to is a form of owner financing. It means that they have a mortgage or mortgages in place. And so you're going to take deed or title to the property subject to the existing financing. So there's paperwork that you put in place. You have to understand what the legalities of it is and what could happen, the cons and the pros or whatever. But now you basically own the house as far as, you own it. It's just the financing is still in the previous owner's name, and you're expected to make those payments. So what do you do with it? You can rent it out, or you could turn around and owner finance it to someone else or whatever. So, ways of doing that. So that's what owner finance. Hope I explained that where it makes sense.
Okay. And yes, I see someone's mentioning to watch the Pace and Jamil's video. They've watched it 3 times already.
Yeah.
Good content.
Good
Very
stuff,
good.
man.
Good stuff. As he mentioned earlier, he will post that link up, or you can just simply look for that a little later once this live is out.
I'm glad you said that again. I'll do it right now. Thank you.
You gonna stop cutting me off too.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Thomas Booker, yes, the video that we just mentioned with Pace and Jamil just posted. When did you do it? Today or yesterday?
It went up yesterday.
It went up yesterday.
Most recent video.
The most recent video, Mr. Booker, is what you want to see. Okay, so D-Rail wants to know, should I set up my LLC before launching my business, and how many owners should I be trying to reach out to daily? Is there a set number, or is there like a schedule you should put yourself on?
No. as many as you possibly can is the answer.
Okay. And the LLC part.
If you have the budget for it, where it doesn't prevent you from getting started with marketing to start to generate leads, then yeah, go ahead and get it into motion. But go ahead and start marketing yourself also at the same time.
Okay.
That's the main thing.
Eric Mitchell has a scenario. A seller has multiple properties and is interested in selling 2 of them. Would you do the deal as a package or 2 separate deals? Plus, how would the contract work if it was a package deal?
Say that again.
Owner has 2 properties. Do you do them as a package deal or do 2 separate deals? And if you were to do them as a package deal, how would that look? How would that process work?
Okay, so seller has a multiple properties and interested in selling 2 of them. Would you do it as a package deal or 2 separate deals, because you may not have the same buyer?
Okay.
And if you have the same buyer, they they still can close on both of them. So.
Is it a possibility that the seller's like, hey, you get both of them, you don't get none?
Oh, they'll do that.
Okay, so then what you do? Find a buyer that wants both.
You find a buyer that wants both, or you don't have a deal.
Okay. Hopefully that got you answered. Let's see here. Let's take another question from over here. Mandrico Guy is from Anniston, Alabama. And he says these houses are like 50,000. If I offer 10,000, the repairs take up the other 40,000. How do you work with cheap houses?
Well, if the house needs that much work on a property in that ARV range, it's going to probably be difficult to do anything with it unless you set up some owner finance.
Is that the answer for everything today?
Hey, it's going to always be a second option. Now, all sellers by no means will want to do that, but it's just you set up some owner finance. Somebody will be glad to take that project on. You may can get it for 10 and wholesale to somebody. You may can get it for 10 on the owner financing, and you may negotiate terms that you'll pay them $200 a month until 24 for 5 years. Well, put a little less than that, 4 years, a little more than 4 years, and you wholesale those terms. You just wholesale the deal to somebody else, and you tell them to give you $10,000 to get the deal, or whatever. Right. And so now they could just they're only spending $200 a month, and they can renovate the property at their own pace. So, but that's just one way. You could probably come up with something more creative than that. So.
Gotcha.
You're going to hear me pound this. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And if there's no other end game, look at owner financing as an option.
Yes.
Yeah,
if the wholesale numbers don't work, you want to be ready to go into it. Just
don't
off
pass
the top.
it up. Have another option.
Yep.
Okay. So,
and you may even start out with the owner finance, because some people just want to start to acquire properties to create cash flow. So that's the real way. You can make a lot of money wholesaling, a lot of money, but if you just want money coming in regardless of what you do or whatever, owner finance is going to give you that. So.
Okay.
You can get short-term money, and you can get how do they say you can get short-term money, temporary money, and then long-term money.
I want it all.
Yeah. So short-term, temporary money would be a wholesale deal. Mm-hmm. Short-term money that has an end date. Well, I guess it might not be technically short term, but you can set up owner financing like with an interest rate and all of that. So it's going to have an end date. And then long-term money would be just a rental property. It'd be up to you if you never want to sell it or whatever. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So Angelo.
I didn't come up with that, by the way.
Angelo and a couple of other people want to know, do you still have the starter sign package?
No, and I need to, I'm not going to take the video down, but I need to put on the site that I don't have it anymore. I'll update that if I can remember.
Okay. Well, with that being said, Angelo needs to purchase 100 bandit signs. He wants to do so from dirt cheap. And Angelo, where you been? Don't get him started. He wants to know, what colors do you recommend? Yellow, black, or red, white signs? And basically, can they still call dirt cheap and say, hi, Ty, the Flip Man sent you?
Oh, yeah. They'll be glad to hear from you. That's the code. You know what I'm saying? Just call and speak to someone in sales. Don't order online. You won't get the discount. Call and speak to someone in sales. Let them know that, I referred you. And boom, there you go.
Okay. Now the colors.
Now, red, blue, and white are my thing. Two colors are going to be more expensive. I go with 18 by 24 portrait instead of the horizontal look. You can get more on them, and they still a pop. The human eyes, from what I'm told, are naturally attracted to the color red first and blue second, right? And that's only going to look good on a white background. I just shake my head when I see people. They'll have a light blue sign with white writing on it. Just all kind of stuff. I'm like, man, I know you want to be different. I get that.
But if it's already working and it's working.
It's working. 2 + 2 is still 4. I'm saying you may come up with something more creative than anyone else, but you have to keep in mind it's a small area, those signs that you can only place your message on. So, and then the color scheme matters. Yellow and black works, no question about that, but they just not going to pop like red on white or blue on white or a combination of those together on white. So.
All right. So back to the age-old initial question. You're saying nothing? Like I can start this with nothing? CO113 says if you started with nothing but a list with just names and addresses, no numbers on them, what would you do first with no funds for marketing or no systems? So it sounds like maybe you've driven around, you have some addresses, you picked up a couple of names, maybe. I don't even know how you figured that out with the address. But what's my next step? I ain't got no money.
Well, if you don't have any money,
I ain't got none.
And you just have a list, then you can't even. Well, I guess you still could go to the county website, which that should be free, and figure out who owns the properties. You may have to literally go door knock. If the people live within the city, that's zero. Because you're not going to probably. You can use some of the free searches online, like True People Search and services like those, to try to look up a phone number.
Or if you get a big enough list, you can take advantage of your 5-day free trial.
No, they still gonna have to
put the payment in.
No, if they're trying to skip trace for a phone number, they still gonna have to pay for it. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, still gonna have to pay for it.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
You can start somewhere.
Yeah, I was getting to it now. What you probably would need to do is try to focus on wholesaling other wholesalers' properties. That won't cost you anything. So now you probably need to backdoor it by trying to figure out where you're going to get your buyers from for that. So that's how you would backdoor that. Right. With no money. So the best way to do it is try to wholesale other wholesalers' properties. So that doesn't cost anything.
Patrick B. Jordan on Instagram. Go to dealyalater.com. Dealyalater.com is where you can find that one-page contract. You said you can't seem to get a copy of it. It's there. I promise it's there.
Yeah, where is he at?
He's on Instagram.
He's on Instagram. Yeah, just go to dealyalater.com and the video is going is this video? Yes, video on the actual site that shows you how to fill it out. I'm not sure what the issue is. People, they just want a hard copy in their hand. You have an option. They want a hard blank copy in their hand. Mm-hmm. What is that going to do you? It still has to be filled out. You can fill it out, download it, and print it out. There's the hard copy in your hand because it still has to be filled out. Right? I tried to make it easy for you where you can fill it out online. You can download it and print it if need be, or you can download it, save it to your desktop or wherever. Now you can either email it or use a service like DocuSign to send it to seller or buyer. Maybe I'm missing something. Someone help me understand where's the disconnect on that. Where's the disconnect?
I don't know.
Please help me understand.
It's connected. Okay. So Young Kings on
the
Instagram.
Buyer's contract. Somebody on Instagram asking about
where do we find the buyer's contract?
The buyer's contract. The same contract can be used. If you go to Dealulator and watch that video concerning the contract, I'll show you how to fill out the contract for the seller side and the buyer side. Okay. Watch the videos, people.
iHeal78. Is there a video on how to use Dealulator before I purchase the software?
Yes. I just did a recent video. If you go to dealyalater.com, it's the first video that you see. The title of that actual video is Top 10 Ways. What is it, Adrian? Top 10 ways to use the best real estate tool, in my opinion, to wholesale houses faster. It's like it was done. I did that video on January 25th, but it's actually on the site. It's the first video that you see. Okay.
Yeah, I got tired of sucking it in. It was I had to let it go. Feel easy. FTA Music. I'm just going to go ahead and I can answer your question. This is from Instagram. How do I report my revenue to the IRS? So we don't want to steer you in the wrong direction.
3 words.
Ever on taxes and how to file your income. Ty always likes to say that's a good problem. If you have money, you need to report, but visit a CPA or your, whoever does your taxes, your accountant, whoever, and get information or suggestions from them. We don't want to get into that and have you doing something wrong. So we're not going to go into that. Our Facebook user says, I am a buyer. Woo! Uh-oh, you better run and hide. Everybody jump on them. And I am looking for a good cash flow multifamily. Need your answer on how to get that.
Well, my man, I'm about to put my number up here. Even though it says something about coach, don't worry about that part. I'm just putting it on the screen so you can see my actual number if you remove the thing.
Okay, I got it.
And so that's my number. Just hit me up and we can talk about it. So, but the number is 205-492-3425. I'll put it in the chat also, but it's right there.
And yes, Patrick, he is on it. Pretty much every question that you have has been answered in some shape or form in one of the almost 400 plus videos that are available to on YouTube. Content is uploaded daily. We're here every Thursday. You're posting your questions. There's nothing that you're probably going to ask that he hasn't already covered at some point or time, or hasn't tried to figure out an easy way for you guys to do this process without the hiccups. He's taking all the bumps and the bruises and trying to tell you,
still taking them,
still taking the bumps and the bruises on how you can avoid them. Now, whether you take that advice or that information, that's up to you, but everything is there. So I always suggest that you go through and watch some of those videos, watch all those videos, binge on the videos, get out there and grind, and then stack your money. Okay, he said, thank you. He saved your number. He'll give you a call tomorrow.
Boom.
Okay, so Sammy from Facebook says, if I'm at a seller's house, we might want to fill it out right then with no printer available, but thank you for the advice. So in regards to having or why they would want a paper contract.
Well, okay. I can go with that, but I'm normally, I guess, okay. I get it.
They want to have one in their backpack, the little laptop bag, and say, "Bam!"
Yeah, I just like my stuff to look professional. There's no trying to figure out somebody's handwriting or anything like that. That's just me, or whatever. So,
that makes sense. You can do that.
Yeah,
so you can have it.
I
what's
agree.
The difference with saying, "Hey, check your email in about an hour. I'm gonna send you the contract over.
Yeah,
you can look over it." Have whoever else you need to review it and just sign it and send it back to me.
See, the worst case
sounds better.
See, the worst thing is like this is what you can do is you just want to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because what you can do is you can have everything filled out except the dates and the price. And now all you got to do is just write those things in. So now there's no question about the name, right? There's no question about the address and all that because you may not can read someone's handwriting or whatever.
Ooh, that's a level of confidence. I'm going with the contract I already filled out.
Well, you don't have the prices in there.
I know, but I'm
well, I'm just saying, but you don't pull it out unless they say they ready. So they don't know you got it filled out. Right?
You're right.
So boom. Now what?
Nothing. Prepared. On point.
Now what?
I ain't got no answer. No answer. Okay. Yes, there are videos on apartments. So we're going to scroll by that one. There's a few of those. Bashan, is there anyone on here that can help with wholesaling? I'm offended. That's what we're here for.
We're here, baby boy.
That's what we're here for.
Go ahead.
I feel stuck and I just need to get through the hump of my first deal.
What's the hump? What's holding you up? What's your issue? Get more detailed with your question as far as what's going on. If you post, I got it right here on the screen right now. Post your questions in the comments of any YouTube video and I will answer. That's all you have to do. What's holding you up? What's the hump? What are the humps?
So I see several people on Instagram have watched the video because they're quoting, what is it? Today's money and tomorrow's money?
Yeah. That's what my boy said.
Today's money and tomorrow's money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If I get a house under contract, would you close the deal?
Yes. If it's a deal,
If it's the deal, but is it a deal though?
Yeah, if it's a deal, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're gonna hear more about that. We about to get wild with this
One more
or
time.
whatever. Huh?
Say it for one more time.
What? We're about to get wild with this.
Yeah,
Not that?
No, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got to think through this.
Okay. But Sean, I see you said that you stepped out. What we were asking you was, you asked, was there anyone that could help you with wholesaling to help you get over the hump of your first deal? The question was, what's the hump? What exactly?
What are the humps?
What are the humps?
What issues are you having? What's holding you up?
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
The video that they're talking about, what you said, what was the quote?
Today's money, tomorrow's money. Yeah,
it's this video here that I posted on yesterday with my man Pace and Jamil out of Phoenix, Arizona, and just some powerful stuff. You know, you need to watch it.
Okay. So we see this question quite a bit. Luke Richard, I'm going to post it on here, and it's going to be, I'm going to most definitely let Ty answer it. But wants to know, is wholesaling illegal in any states or country? So legal, maybe not so much, but some states have put in some extra hurdles.
I only know one. It's Illinois.
Well, Illinois has put in some extra hurdles that may make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, which I have a video, though, with an attorney from Illinois. So just go to YouTube, do a search for Illinois and Flipman, and boom, watch that video. Listen to it carefully. Okay.
Javon, you have an interesting, not even a question, it's a statement here. And then I can already tell you what Ty's going to say.
What is Ty going to say?
Ty's going to say, well, do you have deals? He says, I have deals, but have trouble closing. Well, if you had deals, you wouldn't have trouble closing.
Well, now some people don't know how to form for buyers. That can be an issue.
So it's not the issue that they don't have deals; they just don't know how to find their buyers.
Sometimes now
you found sellers.
Yeah, but sometimes they can't put the other part of it together. So if you could, when you say you have deals, define what you call a deal. Now it has to be a great deal. There's plenty of stuff that's out there for sale. Mm-hmm. Define great deal. Like give us some numbers on a property, Javon. Let's see where you are. When I say numbers, I mean ARV, price. I said, yeah, ARV, price, and hopefully a repair idea estimate.
Ooh, sounds like we got somebody that's Gator on Instagram, and it's Westside Martian. Okay. Can I wholesale another wholesaler's deal without JVing with them?
Yeah, yes.
That's kind of grimy.
No. The wholesaler gives you a price.
Oh, and whatever, you mean like that?
Yeah, and whatever you make above it is yours. That happens all the time.
Oh, see, I'm thinking like,
if somebody calls me on something I have, and they say, I say, how do you want to go about it? I can give you a price, and whatever you make above it, I don't care. Or we can just split whatever, what I have it under contract for. So, yes, right. To answer his question. So, JVing technically is still all of it or whatever. But I guess he's saying he don't, basically he want to make what he make and they make what they make, so.
Right. Okay. So I'm not changing my amount. You need to make your amount work out.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
I got you. Okay. Melvin wants to know, what has been your hardest lesson learned from real estate? And what would you advise them, our subscribers, to overcome it? And what this is the best market to, okay. What is the best market to jump into next with meat on the bone?
The best lesson I can advise anyone is, I'm assuming you're actually making money, is save your money, right? Because the market will change. It's hot right now everywhere, okay, where it is. Some places are hotter than others. Stove at $350, still burn you. $425, still burn you. But both of them are hot, right? Mm-hmm. Check, still cash. All right, so save your money because what you are preparing for, number one, is to have money. But when the market turns, deals are going to still be made. People think just deals drive. No, deals are going to still be made. It just, now you're going to have opportunities in a lot of cases when that happens to buy underpriced real estate. That's when you're supposed to get flat out rich in those times. In the bad times of real estate is when you're supposed to get just flat out just rich, because normally there's underpriced real estate because the market will, quote unquote, adjust itself or whatever. So, and there's just a lot of opportunities out there because people have made and over leveraged themselves. And if you're one of the smart ones, you saved your money, and now you can leverage those savings to go out there and just cherry pick just some unbelievable deals. That's what's supposed to happen during those downturns. And if you incorporate owner financing, what the banks do won't even matter. A lot of people that just focus on owner financing in those bad terms, they make money regardless when it's good or bad. But when it's bad, quote unquote, when banks start to tighten up, people that own the finance make even more money, because a lot of times that's going to be the only option for a lot of people that want to buy a house or whatever. So,
okay. Next market to jump into with meat on the bone.
Oh, I'm not sure what he means by that. Do you mean like city?
No, I guess like what Ingay outside of wholesaling, flipping, or owner finance.
I'm telling them, owner finance.
Owner finance. Okay, I was waiting for it. I was just trying to figure out when it was coming or not.
I'm telling you, man.
I know it was coming. Okay. So Michelle Edwards says, hey, Flip. She's been watching the videos for about 2 months and she's ready to take action. And she says that was a video. That was a good video with Pace and Jamil. It sounds like they really like that video.
That's good, man.
Okay, I'm slacking. I'm behind.
That's
just
good,
told
man.
him
You
so.
need to put it on in your car while you're rolling. Yeah.
I gotta see it.
Well, technically you don't.
Okay. Well,
you don't have to mount in your car. Put up on your phone.
No.
Oh, you might need to stop at the gas station and get where they sell those.
You know what? I can't look at it and drive.
Well, you just gonna glance at it. You ain't really looking at it. Ain't nothing to look at. Just like, you don't have to look. Just like,
yeah,
podcasts.
I got you. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you keep talking about owner financing. Roberto wants to know, where's this owner financing contract? What do you use for it?
It's really not a contract. What you could take the same contract that I use, and what you'll do is, I don't know if I could show you all that without showing this guy's information. But anyway, whenever you make the offer, you just fill out the contract that I have normally, and you just type in, and let me pull up that contract really quick. I'll just give you an idea of what okay, hold on, guys.
And while you're pulling that up, he did mean as in what market is next to jump in as an area. He said like Florida, New York, South Carolina, but
I don't matter, man. It don't matter. There need to be a lot of people. It doesn't matter. Houses are not free, my man. I don't care where you are. When people ask me that, I say, have houses started being free in your city? No. Deals out there, right?
Right.
And again, it's going to be some markets hotter than others, but the stove is at 325. That's going to burn you. At 450, it's going to burn you. Both of them are hot. You know what I'm saying? Just different levels of money still being made in big numbers. But if you're looking at the contract where you just in, I'm sorry. Where the banner? Oh, okay, I'm on the wrong thing. Where am I? Okay, just in this white space, you might want to say see Exhibit A or whatever. Or down in this white space here out by the signature, just put see Exhibit A. You may put it in both places, and then I'm gonna stop this, and then I'll come back and show you just some terms I offered a guy that he didn't accept here recently. Where am I? Throw that up. Give me a second. You can go to the next question. I'm gonna pull this up.
So we mentioned earlier RV Treats _U boutique on Instagram. It's not necessarily that Chicago is not allowing deals anymore. That's not accurate. And to say that just makes it too vague and broad. there are.
You
just
need a
extra
broker's
steps.
license, or I hate to just put it out there, but I know what I would be doing if I was. I'll just tell you what I would be doing. I ain't telling you to do it. You just work with a broker. You should basically set up a company, incorporate a broker. There's a lot of brokers. There's a lot of brokers, broke real estate agents that will be glad for you to take your expertise on what you know about wholesaling and give them an opportunity to work with you. Just partner with one of them. But they're not going to allow you just to do a wholesale transaction, only one per year, unless you have a broker's license. So basically they're saying the deal needs to go through a broker. Boom. It's that simple. You know,
that is not the equivalent of it can't be done.
No, that ain't the same thing. So,
No.
so I can't even hide. Let me see. Can I hide his information?
No, just don't use it.
Okay. I can't do that. Let me see.
No. Okay, so
no, I can do it. I can do it.
You got it?
I can do it. Yeah. I didn't want to put this guy's information out there. So let me see if I can share the screen. So, but back, like, this is an example of an offer. I make things simple. Some people can make it more complex, of course. I think this is it. So, you can see that. I'll say, so boom. So that's basically like the exhibit A, seller mortgage terms. I offered price of $350. That's what he was asking for. Offered 5% down, $17,500. The difference is $332,500. 158 months at $2,100. As you see, I didn't offer any interest on that. So no prepayment penalty on this assumable mortgage. All right. So what I was going to probably do is it's a very hot area in my market. I was going to probably just wholesale the contract for probably anywhere from 50 to 75,000, and the 17.5 would come out of that amount, and I would keep the difference. So if I did it for 50,000, so the difference would be, my math right, is 30. What is that? 3250. Yeah, $32,500. I think is the right number. So that's what I would have put in my pocket or whatever. Okay, so but that's the offer I was going to make to us. So that's similar. You can do all types of different offers or whatever. But he has 5 other people that are, making offers on the property. So I normally don't even compete like that. That's not my thing or whatever. So there it is.
All right, there you have it. Want to give a shout out to Maria Muhammad on Instagram. It's your first time here. Her and her husband found you when searching for wholesaling real estate on the internet, and they've been following you since August. So they've been steadfast in watching every time a new video comes out. So most definitely want to thank you guys for that. And Jesus B Center One also on Instagram says this is first time here. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us.
Oh yeah.
Again, follow Ask Flipman on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's on your screen there. I know Instagram, you can't see it when we say it's on the screen, but the videos are always available almost immediately after we're done. I see 218 people joining us live, and that's just on Facebook, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And we have quite a few more on Instagram, so just make sure you hit that like, love button. Let us know that you're here. And most definitely, we appreciate Ty giving this free content out to you that is ultimately priceless. No value to it. Priceless. Let's see here. Thomas Booker. Hey, Thomas. Says, I'm going to my first tax lien auction next week. I have chosen several properties to bid on. Sounds like you've done your research. How can I tell if the property has liens, where to search, and how much? So where's this info going to be found?
If you use DLater, aka PropStream, it has an option in there that'll show you if a property has liens on it or whatever. But that doesn't mean that those are all of the liens on a particular property. So whenever you've been on those tax properties, that's part of it. But the tax lien takes first position, from my understanding. So, and also it depends on what's your end game on those. What's your end game, I guess, is the main thing. Are you going to use them to try to build a rental portfolio so you can cash flow, or what you're going to hold on to them long enough where you can pursue a warranty deed, or however you do it in your state. So it just depends on what your end game is.
Okay. Hey, Curtis. Curtis is on YouTube, and this is his first time joining us as well. Always wanting to say thank you to each and every one of you that are here again. Michelle wants to know, and she cannot find the video. She tried, but she putting that out there first.
Yeah, that's what. All right, okay.
She wants to know.
Don't let it be one I think you should have found. Let's get it. Let's see what's up, Michelle.
No, it's an easy question. What's the best number of bandit signs to start with? And I'm gonna say however many you can afford.
I don't have a specific titled video with that.
Exactly. That's why she couldn't find it.
No, I don't have a specific how many bandits. No, I don't get that narrow as far as topics. But great question, as they all are. But ideally, you want to start with at least 200, but a minimum of 100, but be prepared to go ahead and be placing another order as soon as possible. But ideally, I would say 200.
Okay. Everyday Hustle says, if I'm under contract for $80,000, owner financing, there's that word, and I have an investor that's willing to pay $120K, no financing, all cash. How does that work for me? Are you able to figure something out with those numbers?
Let me see what we got here. Say I have a contract owner financing, and I have an investor willing to pay $120, no finance, all cash. How does that work? That means you're gonna make $40,000.
No burner there.
Yeah. Can I get 5 of that just for the advice that you're gonna make 40?
Questions are free, answers are not. That'll be $5,000. Okay,
yeah,
so it's that simple. As long as obviously there's something in there that we're missing.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So what does that mean? Like what you just showed us means where your 350 was that said 80, right?
Well, no, his is totally different because he got somebody just want to pay cash 120
just to buy him out.
Yeah, just to buy him out. Yeah, that's totally different. Yeah.
All right, there you have it.
That'll pay off the owner and the lien mortgage, the lien he has in place for the $80,000 on the property, and he cashed the rest. It's no different if you buy a house and you're living in it and you're paying in Wells Fargo, and you had an $80,000 loan on it, but you put it on the market for 120. Somebody paid full price for it. Same thing. It's the same thing.
Okay.
That makes sense?
It makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. So we talked about virtual wholesaling, and virtually the whole thing, that's the way it's done. So the question is, when you close virtually in another state, do I have to fly in for the closing?
No. Wire, bank wire, or UPS, or the USPS, or FedEx.
You have emails. You have all of that. There's no reason for you to set foot out the door. Not at all. If that's how you're, tailoring your business, you'll figure it out. So, Ty, I'm going to combine like all of these questions because you're talking good stuff and they're loving hearing it, and they want to be like on your level. In fact, they want to supersede your level. So the questions are, do you JV? How can they start a competitive collaboration network with you? Now that sounds like some fancy stuff right there.
Oh yeah.
You want to establish a competitive collaboration with you. If I find the deal, can you find a buyer? How do I partner with you? Let's see what else we got here. I have blah this price and blah blah blah. Could you find a buyer for me? All of those questions. How do they do that?
I'm going to start making it a lot easier to do that. I should have when I initially started I started doing all this. That was one of my initial goals, was to be able to partner with people all over the country. And I've been there, you know what I'm saying? What I could have been done that or whatever. And so what I intend to do is start to just show up in cities, do a training free. It'll almost be free. I may charge $50 or $100 just to cover some of my expenses, but it may just be free. I hadn't thought through it all the way through it yet. And I intend to start doing that at least once a month. Not saying it's going to happen. This is my intent or whatever. And the whole purpose of that visit is, number one, to take people through how to wholesale real estate, owner financing. Hopefully I can get some guys, hopefully Pace and Jamil can come sometimes also to put their expertise in place. And then we just start partnering with people, because that's basically how Jamil was able to do 900 deals in a year, is because he's using his expertise to build a cash buyers list in the 12 markets that they're in, and wholesalers just send them their deals. I should have been doing that also. I'm not that smart. But once I hear an idea, I'm going to push forward for him, but I'm going to work with him because he's already, if he allows me to, of course, but we've already talked about it. He's on board. I'm going to work through him because he already has the foundation, everything in place. I just need to leverage the following that I have here so everybody can win. The person in that market can win, make money. Jamil and his group, which is Keyglee, can make money. Keyglee is what it's called, Keyyglee.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I can get a few coins so everybody wins. So that's the intent. So that's what's probably going to be coming soon. Again, I'm meeting them in a day or so to discuss it. And so you'll be hearing more about it, which I already sort of have it, with my 50-50 dot deals or whatever, but I put a lot of restrictions on it that I probably shouldn't have, but I wasn't prepared to take the onslaught of deals that come my way. So people send me stuff all the time. And the biggest issue is that most people don't know what a deal is. But my fault is that I didn't, like I say, I've ignored owner financing. When I learned about wholesaling, I learned about owner financing, and I've done a couple of deals over the years, but I've left millions on the table because I've refused to do it. And the stupidity in me, and the only way I can really sum it up is I've been lazy or whatever. So no more.
No más. So you have requests for Greenville, South Carolina, Atlanta, Cincinnati, South Jersey.
To do what?
For these pop-up.
Oh.
These Flipman pop-ups.
Oh, okay.
That's what we call them. Popping up, pulling up, and putting out. And then you have those that say, please start your tours in Birmingham, Alabama.
I might work out the kinks in the ham. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Start in the ham.
Yeah.
I just got 3 words. 3 words.
CPA.
No.
I'm just tripping. Go ahead.
No, 3 words.
Go ahead.
Can I go? That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard them. They gonna hold you. That's right, Michelle. No mas. Yep. He said I can go. North Carolina, Michigan, and pop up in the DMV. Ooh, yes. The DMV. Yep. DC. Yep, most definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely DC.
Definitely.
See, I know I can look at my data and I can tell the markets where I receive the most activity from people showing interest. Some of it is because the cities are larger or whatever, but I'll probably start there and just branch out from there. But nothing prevents someone. Some people will be close to those markets or whatever. And some people will be close to those markets and they can still, get there or whatever. So but boom.
Now it's just Raleigh though. You pushing it. I ain't even gonna say Hawaii, like really, but Hawaii.
Well,
like really Hawaii.
Hey, like, houses are not free in Hawaii either, are they?
Hawaii. All right. Let's see here. Going back to the questions. Yes. Thanks you. This is from Carlos Reyes. And thanks for helping Newbies. and you guys have a good heart. So I see several questions about hard money or transactional funding. She's not here tonight. We normally have the beautiful Miss Renikia with us, and she has a company called FK Funding Financials.
I'm gonna throw it up here. I'm gonna be a little blocked out here, but I didn't include that that lower third for her, so I'll just throw it up here.
So it's on the screen, and for those of you on Instagram, if you have questions about taking your wholesaling to the next level, creative financing, even if you need some assistance with credit repair, she has several programs with her company. Her name is Renikia Williams. She's available across all social media platforms, and her website is fundmynextdeal.com. You can go there and reach out to her and want her or either a member of her staff or get back with you 48 to 72 hours. So just to answer those questions there in regards to gap funding, transactional funding, or just stepping your wholesale game up to holding, buying and holding, that there is on the screen. All right. Hopping back into just a few questions. Fancy Wright says, I found 3 properties.
Prince.
And it says, girl, bye. Okay, I was reading the name. Fancy Wright. I have found 3 properties that are vacant, and I'm not sure if they are owned or what, but it's a prime area. How do I go about getting more details on the property? They are all on the same block. So first, one question. Answer my questions. What do we think about when you drive down a block and you have multiple houses that are vacant, boarded up, abandoned, whatever the case may be? Is that a good place to start or no? Does that tell you something about that area, that street?
Yeah, that's normally going to be tough. Even for owner financing.
What?
It's going to be tough. Not impossible. Sometimes you can get just how, for a wholesale deal, a lot of times sometimes you can't even get them cheap enough on a property like that, right? I mean, on a block like that. But for owner financing, you may have someone to take it on because you're giving them an opportunity at home ownership. Mm-hmm. Or you may be giving someone at their first investment property. And sometimes guys just see a video, I'll end up buying all of these houses on this whole block. So owner financing make it open up that eye, but for flippers, normally it just automatically turn off or whatever. So
okay. Now the actual question was getting details about the property.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. No, I stopped.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So getting details about the property? Like just looking up the address?
No, like who owned it?
Oh, well, you already know that's a easy one there, baby.
I know. I was waiting for you.
Okay, so thanks for that. Thanks for that softball.
No.
Yeah. So where are we here? Let me get over here to the DLA AK prop stream. Let me log in here. Y'all seen my log in. No password was issued. So I'm logging in here. Spinning wheel, and what we got. All right, so I already got a couple of addresses in here. So if I pull up, I'll just use this one right here. This property right here I was looking at earlier today, I drove by. It was rough. But anyway, so that's the owner's information right here. I can see that he did a quick claim deed back in February of last year, 2019, and for $500, right?
Right.
Only 500. He called me, wants to sell it for 25,000. I'll be happy to actually show you. I think I'm gonna see if it'll pull up a picture of it. Did it float over?
Yes. No, I see.
Oh, okay, I can go back there. Okay. Yeah, so I go to the street view and it's this house right here. So it's pretty rough. He wants 25 grand for it. It's actually a duplex. But the good thing about me driving out there to look at it, and the reason I rode over there, even though I saw this, is because that's a very hot area right now. A lot of development going over there. But this is a vacant apartment building right here behind it. You can't see it. So so that was worth that drive by because of the vacant apartment building. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with this one right here or whatever. But right here, you can't see it. Maybe if I go go down the street. Somebody might try to get my lead here, but that's cool. It is what it is. Let me see. Let me see here. Let me change the thing here. Hold on, guys. Just 1 second. Where's StreamYard? Okay, there we go. So let me stop that and go back. Chrome tab. Boom. Okay, so now you see it. So so I open up this one. Dang, I still didn't do it. Okay, so let me go back. Dang. All right, so hold 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I got it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. All right, so boom. Should be that one. Is it?
Yes, Everyday Hustle.
Okay,
So
there it
can
is.
you use Dealulator for those free trial days, then cancel it before you have to pay?
Of course.
Of course.
All right, so here's this property. So I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, so if I go up the street here a little bit, okay, so this apartment building, okay, right here, that's vacant. I don't know if you can see, it's sort of dark, but you can see that's an vacant apartment unit. It's like probably 12, 13, maybe 14 units in there. So I'm gonna try to find an owner. See, that would be a perfect owner financing, especially over in that area. It's in the opportunity zone also, and maybe an opportunity. So it's real estate. So hopefully that made sense.
Okay. So go back to Dealulator.
Oh, again? Okay.
Yes, you can go to the Dealulator calculator.
Okay.
And we're going to help Familiar, the artist, figure out if he has a deal. He has a house that has an ARV of 610.
610.
Seller wants 449.
449.
We have 15,000 in repairs.
Only 15 on a 600,000. Wow. Okay.
Hey, don't nothing need to be painting and
okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Seller wants 415.
No, seller wants 449.
449. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have a deal?
Well, you're close. You're in the ballpark.
But you might have an opportunity for what? Okay.
Yeah. You're in the ballpark. You're only about 40,000. It may can ride with that, depending on how hot that market is or whatever. Flippers may pay 80% in that market. So if we move this number up to 80%, then yeah, you got a deal. Say 449.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we move that to 80, but it's hard to sort of say that. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on how fast properties move in that area. But you could possibly do owner financing, baby. There it is.
Nose coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Private Life says, Ty, you are on fire with all this Did you? Oh, just went away. With all this great content and answers tonight, man, it's like answers on steroids. Love it and thank you.
It's not like that every Thursday night.
It is like that every Thursday night. I'm just saying. Oh, Familiar said it's in a historic area, so that $high house. So it's probably like an old.
Okay.
The price and all of that.
Yeah,
Not knowing exactly what market. So with that being said, guys, we're here every Thursday. If you like the content that you were given tonight, we're here every Thursday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We're gonna be here next week.
Why wouldn't? Oh,
because it's the day before Valentine's Day.
Whoa.
Whoa. Right.
Okay. That's a good question.
I gotta be here by myself. I'll be here. I ain't got nobody.
Might change in between now and then.
All right. So my number is 205. Just kidding. Guys, you know what? El Haj Malik, don't start. Ty, get El Haj.
What my boy said.
He is always on me. He said, Adria, have you gotten any deals? You know what? I have not. I have on these cool bracelets that I got, and they're motivational. They say nothing is impossible. And El Haj, one of them says to you, it says, I can, I will. And then it says, stop wishing for them deals, start working. And another one says, your tomorrow starts today. So your tomorrow starts today. Watch the videos, the free content. Join us next Thursday. Binge on the videos. Grind out there in them streets. and then stack your coins. Owner financing might be the next good look for you. So make sure you catch that video with Pace and Jamil.
Oh, yeah.
And watch any upcoming content. Like, subscribe, heart, all that good stuff across all social media platforms. Tap the bell to turn on your notifications so when new content is uploaded. And hopefully we'll see you all again on the flip side. You got anything?
No. Just, hey, guys, it's coming. So make sure that you submit deals to 5050.deals. If you're not familiar with that video, go to 5050. Just do a search on YouTube for 5050 and Flipman, and that video explains. But in that video, I said it needs to be on the contract. Don't even worry about it. Just submit them. Just submit them to the site or whatever. We're about to blow this thing up or whatever. So especially in these cities, let me name them right quick. My boy Jamil sent them over to me.
Live Better, come on. Live Better said they're flying to Alabama to co-host, taking over my job.
Taking it over, man.
Cover me on my off day.
Cutting you out, man. Let me get these cities out. I should have gave them out earlier, whatever. So you all that stuck around, so you're going to be the fortunate, the beautiful ones.
And what are these cities again?
These are the cities that are going to be prime. I'm not saying the other cities are not, but these are going to be prime markets if you got deals there. So they are Atlanta, Phoenix, Tucson, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas. So again, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tucson, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Salt Lake City, and Las Vegas. Let's get this bread, and we'll see you on
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that.